Good afternoon, my little bowls of warm potato mash. How are yous? It's wee Paddy back again today. And I'm going to go, there's more and more channels doing it, but I've always been an advocate for small knives, for just small little pocket knives. And I suppose a lot of it's to do with the fact that I suppose here in the UK, now this is just for me, other people have lots of other reasons, but here in the UK, we can't carry big knives. Just can't do it. So you can fight about it, you can argue about it. It's just the law, and every country's got different laws in different places. But for me, it's sensible to carry little knives. Pocket knives, pen knives, where all this hobby started, where most people can only afford wee knives or cheap big ones. So wee knives tended to be the fancier looking because a man would have brought it out. You'd have brought wee knives out for anything when they first came around. They were just such a useful tool. And nowadays, I think it's even more important to carry a wee knife. It's all right saying that the public will have to put up with what I've got in my pocket. And if it's a 4 inch, pocket sword, that's okay. It's their fault. It's legal. Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, we have the freedom, a lot of places, we have the freedom to do things like that. But to me, it's still that case where if people are scared of knives, the way to get them on side is not to pull out a 4 inch pocket sword because it scares them. It makes them nervous of who you are, and you could be the most loving, Christianly person in the world. But a big 4 inch knife pulled out to cut a bit of thread or open a package in front of other people can be scary. So, enough of my preaching. I've laid out some of my most popular little knives that I carry on a regular basis. And the other thing, fifth pocket knives. These are all little knives that can fit in the fifth pocket of my jeans. So if I'm out somewhere and I need a knife just to snip, cut, do anything like that there, I pull in my fifth pocket, pull this knife out. If you've got a little purse, if you're a lady, having a little pen knife in your purse, my wife does it now, loves it. And she was a complete anti-knife person when I started this channel. She was never going to listen to talk about knives. She didn't want to know anything about them. So she's changed over, but it's not because I have these big knives. It's because about the house, this is the knives I use the most. If I'm being honest, they are just a smaller knife from this to pen knives. I don't use any of my big knives really, unless there's a purpose for doing it. And they're purpose driven. And pen knives have always been purpose driven, job driven, and they're made to cover that job. These knives are just covered to cover household jobs. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, I got this company. It's called Whitby Knives over here in the UK. And they do a large range of budget knives. And I always look at the store periodically from now on, but I had asked them years ago, would they like to, donate some knives to the channel for, to do promotions. And at that time, they whether they needed it or they just didn't know the channel and maybe didn't have enough subs. But they contacted me last week and said, look, we've got a wee knife. You'd mentioned before you would review things for us. So they sent me a wee knife. And it's not one of their bigger knives. And they do a wide range. And I mean, budget knives that are, most of them are all Chinese made, but they're really good quality. I have bought from this company a lot of wee knives in the past. And I've got a couple still left, but they're down the caravan. Everything is in my flipping caravan. But anyway, so they sent me this and said, would I review it? And I said, I certainly will. To be quite honest, like I say to all the people who sent me knives, I'll not do a completely, if the knife is that bad, I'll just send it back to you and say I'm not reviewing it because I don't like doing reviews of an absolute rubbish knife. And I know people say, well, you should let us see what I, but no, this is my hobby. Why do I want to have a knife that is rubbish on my channel unless I have bought it with my own hand? But if these people are kind enough to send me a knife, some companies may think it's the best knife in the world or they're sending me a good deal. If it's rubbish, I just send it back and don't do the review. And to be honest, every company I've done that to is, I'll just keep the blooming knife. So it either gets, I give it away to people or the grandchildren would use it, it's anything. But that was a long-winded explanation. I really am the art of, I wish I could write notes and follow them because I write notes, set them to the side and then never look at them. So this company, Whitby Knives, it's whitbyandco.co.uk. I'll put that down in the description for those of you who want to go and visit it. But it's a UK company. It's an online store. Please, if you're in the UK or even Europe, and you want to check out what they have, if you like the more budget range. Now, they're not all budget at all, but what they are, steels that are not long lasting, like most budget knives. It's not long lasting steel you're paying for, but they have some really lovely patterns. And this is the perfect fifth pocket knife. And the reason I'm really pleased with this, because a lot of their steels before was just 440, 420, which is steels that I don't mind at all. And a little pocket knife, I've no problem. I just couple of whizzes on a wee sharpening stick and they're back to life again at the end of the day. But they've upgraded a lot of their steels and they're doing the 12C27 on their budget knives. That is fantastic. 12C27 is a super small grained, easy to sharpen, easy to maintain, easy to strop. It's just so for a little knife like this, it's perfect. And I'm glad they've upgraded that on some of their models. So it's worth checking out what models they have upgraded on. You'll see in there. It's a nice store to go through and have a wee look. Now, let's see what this is. I really do go on. So this is the way it comes. It comes in a nice box. It's brand named Whitby, and Whitby is branded. They're Chinese made. But again, that will not bother me in the slightest. This is it. It's not a big knife, is it? But it is a perfect. Look at that. Little fixed blade, but it has a clip as well. I like the fifth pocket. More and more I'm using little clip knives to go into it, because sometimes when I sit down, I can be a bit portly, it has been said. And even when I sit down, my leg fat pushes it out of the pocket. But it's quite nice. This one has a clip, and it's even, it's a tip down. So there you go. How terrible is that? But it is. It's a nice wee clip. Deep carry. It'll go in your fifth pocket. Lovely little knife. It's just a nail nick opener. Nothing flashy about this. But look at that little blade. Isn't that lovely? It's a hollow grind. Now, is this hollowed down to the thinnest point in the earth? No. It's a really nice, it's such a small, thin blade. It's so sharp. It is razor sharp. So let me show you the size of this. Let me just show you. It is 4 5/8 overall. The cutting edge is 1 5/8, and obviously the handle is 2 3/4. So lovely. I'm not going to weigh this. It weighs nothing. It just weighs nothing. You wouldn't feel it. It's so slim. This is like aluminum. I'm not sure. It looks like aluminum, or even if it is steel, it's very light wee knife. You can't feel it at all. So I'm not going to weigh it. I'm not starting that nonsense. But look at the fit and finish on this wee knife. How lovely is that? You have a place if you wanted to stick a wee lanyard in. I would say you would even get normal paracord squashed in through there without much of a problem. But it's just really well made. Lovely termination there. Lovely access for the little nail nick. And it's not something you're going to flick out with your hand. It is a two-hand opener. But I just think this is the definition of a little fifth blade knife. Really nice. It's light blue. Camera probably doesn't pick it up with this. It's light blue, anodized light blue. Lovely. Really, really. And let me just see if I've got any paper. Oh! Imagine having to stretch at my age. That's not on. So, what's it like? And this is just out of the box. Absolutely perfect. That's it. It's a knife and it cuts. How good is that? And I didn't pay too much money for it. This is in 12C27. I don't know whether it's actually on the blade or not. I don't think it is on the blade. There's no markings. That's lovely. But it is 12C27. You'll see it on the website. But a really just gorgeous wee knife. And here's the reason why I wanted to just bring this out today and show it. I have knives sitting in front of you from £3. I bought this about 5 years ago. From £5 up to 150 you would pay for one of these now. This is the GEC, and this is definitely my most used little knife around the house. This is the, what's it, the number on this? I've forgotten. I haven't got, I think it's 25. I think it's the 25 pattern, or 26. It's something like that. But that is a little beast of a work knife. And again, let's put it down. It's only just over 5 inches long, with a cutting edge of just under 1 7/8. But honestly, this is built like a little tank, and it will cut anything. 3 fingers, bottom round the back. And that's a really comfortable. People say 3 fingers as if it's bad. But if it was just 2.5 fingers, it would be bad because your control wouldn't be good. These handles are made, most of them are made as a knife you can carry. So you have 3 fingers, your fourth goes at the back of it, and it gives you such a secure feel. And if you haven't used them, I'm sure you did as a youngster, but they're still every bit as good today as they were then. But this is my favourite small blade. One, because it's the most expensive, but two, it's only $10.95. So it's not, I'm not buying it for its steel. I'm buying it for its functionality. And there's a Case Peanut, probably the most bought knife in the world. A Case Peanut. Isn't that scary? All them fancy knives out there. This wee bugger has been about for so long. The little peanut knives, from different brands. There's a German brand. This is just not a German brand. This is an Italian. Beautiful bone on this, as there is on this. This is in just whatever the Italian steel is. There's no name of the steel on it. This was a gift. So I've no idea what the steel is. I do know it cuts. It gets really sharp. And that's all I need to know in a little knife. Because most of the time I'm going to be opening the cellophane off my steak or a box that comes on Amazon. That's the knives that I'm going to go for. And the different patterns and shapes that you can collect. And this is Case. I mean, these are not cheap. You're talking £40, £50 for some of these. But they're just gorgeous little knives. Rough Rider, you can pick them up for £10 or probably $7, $5 in America. That's a wee butter bean or a baby canoe, a mini canoe, I should say, just about the same size as the Peanut. Fantastic little option to buy. Really do love that little knife. It's a gorgeous little thing. So this is probably one of the most collected. 2 blades, the fit and finish on this is absolutely perfect. And again, it's probably the most bought knife in the world, I would say. There's probably evidence, which I'm not going to look up. But then again, like Rough Rider, this is why Rough Rider is such a great place to start. Because they cover all knives, no matter what size. Look at that for a cotton sampler. Isn't that just beautiful? A little bone cotton sampler. Just a gorgeous little knife. I carried this for ages one time just to see how much I would use it. And it's fantastic. It's better than the bigger one because this is useful. It's a 5th pocket and you'll take it out just to cut wee things. And they're not all just slip joints. There's lockbacks. And I'm becoming more and more interested in lockbacks. This one I've had for 5 odd years. It's just a cracker. It's a San Remo. When they used to make some of I think they still do, but they don't do it in the quantity they used to do. They used to make some of the best small bladed knives out there. And it was 8CR13 on them, which is absolutely brilliant for a little small pocket knife. Look how thin that blade is. You turn it sideways and look, you nearly could lose it. It's so thin. That will cut anything for as long as I want it to cut. Again, Rough Rider. I'm just going through these quickly. I'm not going to do full reviews. This is a lockback, a little Rough Rider. It's the size of a peanut and it's a little lockback. Cracking little knife. Absolutely cracking. This was a Fura gear. This was supposed to be S35VN. There was a big kick up, but it's in titanium. An S35VN. I don't know whether it's S35. I would doubt it, but look, it is always taking a screaming edge. It lasts me, because all I'm doing is little tiny cuts. It lasts me months without having to even strop it. And it's a frame lock. It's just a wee cracker with it's a multi-tool. There's a beer opener on it. But here's one of the first This was sent to me by Hawaii Knife and Gear, and if you don't follow him, you must go and follow him. He's a great fella. Lives in Hawaii, as the title would suggest. But he had sent me this over years ago, maybe 4 years ago, and it was to go. This is a Tucson, and it was to go with the Tucson knife I had. It had the same sort of colouring, this dark stone-washed colour on the handle here. I have a larger version, again down the caravan, and he sent me this over to go with it as a pairing, because I always liked a main blade and a small blade. This is an M390. This will cut longer than I'll ever need it to cut. I think I've sharpened this in 4 years. Maybe, like it would have been a quick ceramic sharpen. Do you know, maybe twice, and a strop. It's just so little sharpening because it's M390, and it's just a gorgeous blade. But there you go. There's a run through some of the small blades I have, and you're going to understand this. I have a stack more down the caravan. I keep saying that. But look, this was the knife today, $14.99. It's 12C27. I think that's aluminium. Let me yeah, I think it's aluminium. It's not reacting at all, but I think that is the perfect little fifth pocket knives. And I would highly suggest, look, they've given this to me for free for the channel. And I'm hoping, as long as you go over and you see knives that you like, if you get a chance, mention you've got it from Paddy Channel. And if you like them, please come in on any video and say, look, I bought this. It's good. What you said is right about it. That's all I want. And if it's bad, tell me it's bad, because I don't want to recommend any company that's going to sell shoddy gear, because they can send me the best in the world, but it's you, the important people. I'm getting them for nothing. You're going to pay your money for them. So always let me know what your experience is with a company. I don't do many company reviews, but I just like this because, look, this weather, after COVID, and I know there's a lot of people made money on COVID and were able to save it, but there's an awful lot of people out there who didn't and who haven't got tuppence to rub together. So to keep either their hobby going and keep them a little bit of an interest, buying budget knives is what they've got. That's the money they've got to spend. So I'm going to continue doing them. I love them just as knives, and I love them as tools. They are fantastic tools to stick in your pajama pocket, your tracksuit bottoms. They're just great to have on you, so they always have something to cut. So I hope I didn't go on too long. That's a company I recommend. It's whitbyandco.co.uk. Again, it'll be down in the description. And just a lovely knife. So there you go. The Whitby. I meant to tell you what the name was. Let me show you. I'm so bad at video. Hopefully I'll get better in time. It's called the Leven. Leven. And this one's, it says grey, but it's like a grey blue, like a lot of these are. So it's the Leven EDC knife. So when you go on the website, just type that in and it'll come up. They have all different sorts of other ones as well. It's not just this one. They have lots of different small knives. And I think it's worth every penny of the $4.99 or $14.99, I should say. So take care. All the very best. Paddy's gone. Thanks for watching. Take care.